The smart scale that caught a cheating husband. She wasn't even home. The house was empty. The bedroom was dark. Nobody was supposed to be there. But the scale was on, and the scale was recording, and at 12:16 in the morning, it measured someone who wasn't her. Then again at 12:25, same weight, same night, 2 readings, 9 minutes apart. This is the story of what a bathroom scale saw. That a wife wasn't supposed to know. I want you to think about your home for a second. Not the version you show people, the real one, the lived-in one. The one with the cabinet that doesn't close all the way and the bathroom scale you step on out of habit every morning. Most of us have one. Maybe it's basic. Maybe it's one of those smart ones, the kind that connects to an app on your phone, logs your weight, tracks your history, syncs automatically whether you want it to or not. Those smart scales don't forget anything. That's not a metaphor. That's a product feature. Every weigh-in is time-stamped. Logged, stored in the cloud, accessible from anywhere, anytime, from the app on your phone, even when you're not home, even when you have no reason to check, even when someone who shouldn't be in your house is standing on your bathroom floor at 12:16 in the morning. The scale records it all, and it recorded this. This story came from Reddit, posted by a woman who, at the time she shared it, was in one of the most painful in-between spaces a person can occupy. She and her husband were separating, not divorced, not moved on, separating. That grey, agonizing middle place where you're still technically married but living apart, trying to figure out if what's broken can be fixed, trying to decide whether the love you built over years is worth fighting for, or whether the thing that cracked it open is too large to close. The thing that had cracked it open, he had cheated before. She knew this. It wasn't a suspicion. It wasn't a feeling. It was confirmed, confronted, out in the open. And they had made a decision, not to divorce immediately, but to separate, to take space, to honestly decide whether rebuilding was possible. And they had made an agreement. No one knew. Not during the separation. He said he understood. He said he agreed. He said he wanted to try. And then he went to the home he was staying in during the separation. And at 12:16 in the morning, a woman stepped on the bathroom scale. Here's the detail that makes this story impossible to shake. She wasn't looking for anything. Let me say that again. She was not snooping. She was not running a surveillance operation. She was not suspicious that night. She was on her phone, and she opened the scale app. Out of curiosity, the idle, aimless kind. The kind where you're lying in bed and you open an app you haven't opened in weeks just to see what's there. What was there stopped her cold. The history log showed all the weigh-ins, all the timestamps, hers from weeks ago. And then 2 new entries, both marked unassigned, both logged at the same weight, 120 pounds. 12:16 a.m., 12:25 a.m. Same night, 9 minutes apart. The middle of the night, in a house where her husband was supposed to be alone. 120 pounds. Not his weight, not close to his weight, a woman's weight. Logged twice, because whoever she was, she stepped on that scale twice in 9 minutes in the middle of the night. Let that land. The scale didn't lie. The scale didn't have feelings. The scale didn't choose sides. It just did what it was built to do. Measure what stepped on it, and remember. She took a screenshot of the scale data, the 2 entries side by side with their timestamps, and she posted it to Reddit. Her post was almost understated for what it contained. She explained the separation. She explained the agreement. She explained that she hadn't been home that night, and that these 2 readings had appeared in the log, and she asked, "Am I overreacting? Am I overreacting?" She found evidence of a woman in her home in the middle of the night while her husband was supposed to be honoring an agreement he made to her. And her first instinct was to wonder if she was the one being unreasonable. That detail, that one question, that's the part that broke people's hearts when they read it, because so many people recognized it. That instinct, when you find something that looks damning and your first reaction isn't anger, it's doubt. Not of him, of yourself. Am I overreacting? The internet's answer was swift and unanimous. No, the post was picked up by Newsweek, LAD Bible, Barstool Sports, and dozens of other outlets. Not because it involved a celebrity, not because there was a video, Not because anything happened in public. It spread because it was so specific, so quiet, so completely ordinary, and so completely devastating. A bathroom scale, an app, 2 timestamps, 9 minutes apart at midnight. That's it. That's the whole story. And yet it said everything. The comments flooded in. Some people focused on the logistics. Was there another explanation? Could the scale have malfunctioned? Could there be a technical error? Other people were more direct. They'd been in this exact situation, not with a scale, but with some other piece of technology that caught what a partner thought was invisible. A Find My Friends app, a credit card notification, a Fitbit that logged a 2 a.m. walk, a shared Google location that pinged the wrong address. Technology didn't create infidelity, but it has made it extraordinarily difficult to hide. The smart home, the connected home, the app-linked home, the home that logs everything, has become unintentionally the most honest witness in modern relationships. Your scale remembers who stepped on it. Your thermostat knows what time someone adjusted the temperature. Your doorbell camera saw who came and went. Your Wi-Fi router has a log of every device that connected. He thought he was alone in that house. He wasn't. The house was watching. I want to talk about what makes this story different from a lot of betrayal stories that go viral. There's no confrontation here, no dramatic reveal, no dinner table explosion, no packed suitcase on the front step. There's just a woman, alone, looking at her phone in the dark. 2 numbers on a screen, and the quiet, terrible knowledge of what they mean. There's a particular kind of pain in being betrayed quietly, in finding out not through a scene, not through a confession, not through being told, but through a piece of data, a number, a timestamp, something so mundane, so clinical, that it almost feels wrong to cry over it. She had already been through the first affair. She had already made the decision to try. She had already chosen to believe that he meant what he said about the agreement. She had swallowed her fear and her pride and her doubt and said, "Okay, I believe you, let's try." And he took that belief, that trust, that extraordinarily courageous decision she made to give him another chance, and he used it. And a scale in a bathroom in the middle of the night told her what words never would have. That is a specific kind of cruelty. Not dramatic, not explosive, quiet and cold, and in many ways worse. I want to sit here for a moment and talk about the agreement, because I think this is the part of the story that made people angriest, angrier even than the original infidelity. When someone cheats on you, especially if they come forward, express genuine remorse, ask for another chance, there is a moment where you have a choice to make. Do you leave? Or do you try? Both are valid, both are painful, both require something immense from you. But if you choose to try, if you choose to stay in the room, to have the impossible conversations, to look at the person who hurt you and decide that what you built together is worth fighting for, you are making an act of extraordinary trust. You are handing that person something more precious and more fragile than you gave them the first time. Because the first time, you trusted them simply, naturally, the way you trust anyone you love before you have reason not to. The second time, you trust them with your eyes open, knowing what they're capable of, knowing the risk. And he took that trust and spent it on someone at 12:16 in the morning. That's what the scale recorded. Not just a weight, not just a timestamp, a broken promise in numbers. We don't know how this story ended. Reddit doesn't always give us the neat ending. Life rarely does. But what we do know is this. She asked the internet if she was overreacting. And the internet told her, no, you are not overreacting. You are seeing clearly, and what you are seeing is real. Sometimes that's all we need someone to tell us. Not advice, not a plan, not what to do next. Just what you're seeing is real. The scale doesn't love anyone. It doesn't protect anyone. It has no reason to soften the truth. It just measures what stands on it and writes it down. And in this case, what stood on it was a secret. Twice. At 12:16 and 12:25 in the morning. Check your apps tonight. Not because you're suspicious, just because, in the age of the smart home, in the age of everything connected and everything logged, the truth has a way of writing itself down, whether anyone reads it or not.